Hey, do you have a free floppy drive?
A floppy drive?
Yes. Hard drives, I'm just tugging your dick.
That's not an expression.
Pulling your pickle?
Stop, it's on my desk.
What's up?
Hey, what's that?
Oh, it's the new coffee spot.
Witch's Brew?
Yeah, it's the place that just opened up on the corner.
There's no coffee shop on the corner, it's just a creepy old house.
Yeah, that's the one.
What?
What?
Your voice.
You want some? Happy to share this cup of Joe.
No thanks.
Sweet Java.
I'm good.
More for me, my main man.
I think there's something wrong with that coffee.
Does taste a little burnt, but hey, support local.
There's no coffee shop on the corner. It's just a creepy old house that I thought was abandoned.
It's a coffee shop, boo-boo. It's not creepy. It's a little creepy, but it's nice, so. I think the creamer's almond milk.
Dude, stop drinking that.
Why?
There's something wrong with it.
Oh, because it's not Starbucks? God, you're gross.
No.
I support the local community. Okay, Bezos?
Every sip you take gets a little more scary.
I know you buy everything off Amazon. Okay, so just back off. Back off, dude.
Stop drinking the coffee!
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
Demon possessions. They're fun. It's something that we've seen so many times across so many films, from the iconic to the hilarious, and it's always a lot of fun, especially when you're doing it yourself. So today I wanted to take a look at doing a stylized demon possession, but pulling it back to make it as simple to achieve as possible. First, we're going to take a look at how we did the face, and for this we're taking a bit from 2 episodes that we did in the past. First is the digital monster mask episode, where we used Photoshop and some 2D tracking to give Emily this look. The problem is that it's just a frozen image slapped on top of her face, like a cardboard cutout placed there. And that's where the second episode comes in. This Track Anything episode, where we showed how to use the mesh tracker inside of Mocha. I'm not going to get in deep with all the things that mesh tracker can do, so definitely check out the link for the episode. It's pretty incredible and worth a look. But for this, the first thing that we want to do is bring our footage into After Effects, and what I'm bringing in here is just the section I want to work with. This was exported from the edit, so it's the exact amount of frames that we need. Then I'm going to drop on Mocha Pro and launch the app with the playhead on the first frame. I'll get my spline tool here inside of Mocha, create the area I want to track, then inside of our track tab, which we need to be in classic mode to find, I'll check mesh, then under generation mode, I'll change to uniform and set my mesh size to what I think will work best. I don't need it to be too dense, somewhere around there should be good. And again, from the first frame, we're going to click track forward and let Mocha do its thing. And we can see here how the track is moving with the natural warping of his face. Once that finishes, we're going to click here to expand the box to select everything and then save and close Mocha Pro. And now this effect on this layer contains all of our warping tracking data that we just created. So we're going to pause here and jump over to Photoshop, where we will create our digital mask. And again, we showed that in some detail in our other episode, so I'm not going to go into it too deep here. Link in the notes for that below as well. I'm just going to layer on different assets using blending modes and feathering until I have something I'm happy with. For the veins though, I used a really simple technique that I saw in another tutorial. In Photoshop, you add a new layer, then you go to render and add clouds, then back into filters, render, and add difference clouds. Then I'll add levels to wash this all out in more of a gray, and of course reduce that contrast. Then I'm going to add a hue and saturation to give it a red tint, and then we're going to change the blending mode to color burn. And now I can just use masks to add the veins how I want them. It's a really quick and easy way to get some interesting looks, but I'll throw a link to that full tutorial that I found in the notes below as well. But once I have something I like, I'll cut out just my digital mask and save that as a PNG to maintain the alpha. Then I'm going to bring this into our comp and place it above our main layer. And again, with everything at the first frame, we're going to copy and paste the Mocha effect onto our digital mask layer. Then inside of there, we're going to go to module renders, check render, and change module to stabilize warp. And here it is. Mocha has done all the work for us to warp our still to match with Josh's face. And for this, I'm not needing the mouth area, which is good since Mocha had a bit of trouble with how fast Josh's mouth moved. If I were to do this again, I would increase my shutter to get rid of the motion blur and add it back in the end. The eyes work well here too, since I wanted Josh to stay pretty frozen in the eyes and not blink. If you did have blinking and such, you might have to mask out the eyes to do that separately. But with this sort of track, we can solo the digital mask and see it animating from the tracking data, which this by itself gives me some ideas of ways that we could use this for other things. But next up is the sound work on his voice, and before we jump into that, I did want to remind you again that my road reel is happening right now with only 2 weeks left to get your work submitted. This is an annual short film competition from our friends at Road, and I'm excited to be returning as a judge as well this year. And Road is giving away a $250,000 cash prize plus tons of other awesome cash and filmmaking gear prize packs. To enter, you're going to be submitting a 3-minute short film. Entries are open now and close October 20th, so only 2 weeks left. So go to myroadreel.com for more info on how to get involved and check the notes for some links that can help you get started with your film.
I know you buy everything off Amazon, okay? So just back off! Back off, dude!
Stop drinking the coffee!
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
The final touches on the end joke is the sound. Throughout the scene, Josh's voice starts to deepen more and more, but it's at the end that we get that full-blown demon voice. And to do this, I used a new plugin called Voice Changer. This comes from Akisonos. I've talked about them plenty on the show. You all know I love their simplicity and the whole one-button approach that they have, and this works similarly to that. And I did use it gradually coming in until that last moment, but the big sound was the one I did first, so then I could work backward from there. So the first thing I did on this moment was a general correction to the dialogue. For this, I used Audio Cleanup Assistant. Click play on your audio, hit Assistant, and the plugin listens to your sound and suggests some changes right off. I did some tweaks after that, and then I have a nice baseline. Of course, you could do something similar with just the built-in EQ and compressor. This is just faster, and I tend to like the results a bit better. But now with my bass correction on, I'll add the Voice Changer plugin. Right when you first start it off, it has a style applied. We have an epic movie trailer effect going, which deepens the voice a little bit.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
But here you can see you have 3 chains: your character, effect, and environment. For character, this is where we adjust the character of the voice, the tone, and effect. And in here we have folders for human, robot, and supernatural. So we can select something like baby and get a funny sort of chipmunk sound.
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
As we push more processing, we get a higher pitch, and when we lower it, we head toward the original. Then you have others like thin voice or the creepy whisper effect.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
But the one that we're using is deep voice, but I'll come back to that. But over here we have some excellent robot effects, each with a different vibe, but all of them solid and hard to pull off from scratch.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
And finally, you have the supernatural section. Each of them are solid, but all push it a bit too far on their own for what we want.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Then in effect, you have some of my favorite stuff. Things we often need, but can be a pain to get right. Like phone sounds.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Megaphones.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
All kinds of different intercom effects.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Or this bad signal.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
And one that we're going to be using for this, the double voice, which essentially is a chorus effect.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Then in environment, this does a great job of giving you the characteristics of different types of environments. This is especially useful when you're doing compositing work with your characters on green screen in a studio, and then the end result is supposed to be some big cavern. But my favorite thing in this entire plugin is this, the other room sound. I need this pretty often, and it's always annoying to produce on your own. So you have either this other room sound,
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
or even sound coming through a closed window.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
But back to what we are actually using this for, I'm going to use a few instances of this to get to what I want in the end, with the first just having the monster preset on. With the preset up high, you can hear that it's this demonic sort of tone that we're getting.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
But I want just a little bit of that grit, so I'm going to pull it all the way down to here.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Now I'm going to add another instance, and this time I tossed on the deep voice and cranked that to 80%. And I'm going to add a touch of that double voice here too.
I don't know why you're freaking out! It's really good coffee!
Then I'm going to add one more instance with the ghost applied. This gives us some weird reverse feedback on the voice. But again, I don't want this too forward facing, so I'm gonna pull it down pretty low to just have it in the background of the voice.
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
Then I'm gonna boost my levels a bit, and we are in a good place already. Now, after applying all of this, it does sound a little bit muddy to me, so I'm gonna add an EQ to brighten it up just a little bit, pulling up some of the highs. Then finally, I want to widen the sound. And for this, I used Ozone 8 to finish it out and make it feel very wide and ethereal. This gives us that larger otherworldly vibe. But if you don't have that plugin, you could just throw on a chorus effect, put the voices to 2, take the dry up a bit, just moving it around to taste, and you will get a good ethereal and wider sound that way.
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
But finally, for this last one, I added Josh's original voice back in underneath it all and very low to give it that second tone and make it all feel a bit more demonic.
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
And now with the main demon voice done, I can work backward, taking it down to 0. So in the sketch, when you watch it, his voice works his way up to the main possessed voice. And I did that with one instance of voice changer using the deeper voice that gets deeper after each sip. I saved all those extra flavors for that final bit so it would feel like a bigger leap in the end.
I don't know why you're freaking out. It's really good coffee.
Now, of course, you can get a deep voice by using built-in pitch effects, but I do like the results better that I'm getting with Acusonos, and how quick and easy it is to get to those end results is a big plus as well. You can get a free trial to it if you would like to check it out. You can also check out the full ERA bundle. Again, that's something that we've shown a bunch on the show. I'm a big fan of it, so definitely check that out. Links in the notes below. And if you aren't subscribed, consider doing that and hit the bell to be notified when we release more content. Until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.